scholars, so we have been learning the substitution method, which is a method for us to solve a linear equation. In the substitution method, you take one quantity that is equal to another and you substitute the other quantity in for it. So the first thing that we have to do is we have to get a variable, so either x or y by itself. I notice that this here is almost giving me an x by itself, but the only thing is x is multiplying by 3. So if I divide everything by 3, then I get x is equal to 6 divided by 3 is 2, so 2y minus 21 divided by 3 is 7. So now I know that x is equal to 2y minus 7. So the next step into solving using substitution is to substitute in 2y minus 7 into the second equation, anywhere we see an x. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to move this down and I'm going to rewrite the 6x minus 9y equals negative 30. Now I said anywhere we see an x, we can now substitute in 2y minus 7. But 6 was multiplying x, so 6 needs to multiply this entire quantity. And everything else comes down. So minus 9y equals negative 30. Now, instead of having two unknowns like we did over here, x and y, now we only have one unknown. Now all we have to figure out is what is y. So I'm going to solve for y. We've done this before when we had a linear equation in one variable. You just solve for that variable. So first we are going to use the simplification steps. So we are either going to combine like terms or distribute or do something so that I only have one term with y and one term without a y on the left side at most. So I'm going to distribute the 6 into the parentheses. 6 times 2y is a positive 12y. I'm going to bring down the minus sign. And then 6 times 7 is 42. So the 6 got distributed in, everything else trickles on down. So the minus 9y equals negative 30. We're still not done simplifying because I have 3 terms. 2 of my terms have y in it. So I want to combine like terms. 12y minus 9y. So if I have 12 and I take away 9, I am left with 3y. Nothing else combined, so I move down the minus 42 equals negative 30. And now I am done simplifying. Now I have to use my properties of equality in order to get my variable terms on one side and my constant terms on the other side. So, because minus 30 is a constant, I'm going to bring over the 42 here. But I have to pay attention to what was happening in the step right before I added those 42s there. So I was subtracting 42, so that must mean that I have to add 42 to both sides to cancel it out. So now we are left with 3y, and that is equal to negative 30 plus 42, which is 12. Now we're almost done in isolating the y. It's still attached to a 3, so that's 3 times y. So to isolate the y, we have to divide both sides by the thing that's attached to it, which is a 3. We get y equals 4. Now, if I go back up here to my original linear equations, so that was this one here and this one here, I see that I don't just have a y, I also have an x. Well, I do know that I did manipulate this top one, and it's the same thing as this, so I can use x equals 2y minus 7 and the value of y being 4 to solve for x. X equals 2 times y minus 7. Well, we just found that y is 4. So x equals 2 times 4 is 8 minus 7. X equals a positive 1. And y equals a positive 4. So the solution to this is 1, comma, 4. Now, because I used that top equation, this one up here, to solve my x, I'm now going to check my overall solution with that second equation. And so the way I check is I just take that point and I plug in 1 for x and 4 for y. So let's do that. So that's 6 times 1 minus 9 times 4 equals negative 30. And let's simplify. 6 times 1 is 1 minus 9 times 4 is 36. And that should equal negative 30. Well, 6 take away 36 is negative 30. So negative 30 equals negative 30. It checks out, and we've got our solution.